I got you on the main screen.
All right. Well, let's see what happens now. Are you good there?
Yeah,
you want to change your layout? Go ahead and change the layout on your side. Go ahead and flip the camera on your end. See what happens.
There we go. That's weird.
Are you still on the little screen?
You, right? Still you.
You got me in the middle.
Big guy.
I'm the big guy.
Yeah, you're in the middle.
What if I turn? What if I play with this?
Yeah, you're still in the middle.
Still in the middle. Oh my goodness gracious! You can't change your layout at all. We want to see the chef cook. We want to see the chef cook.
Yeah, hell yeah, because it's smelling good in here, man.
Yeah.
We got some good food. Let me click on this button here. Oh, I'm down to the bottom. Maybe if you go off and come back on, I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll
we'll get this figured out, everybody. All right, I'm going to start cooking, man.
Start cooking, baby. Start cooking.
Hey, let's see if it brings me to the center here. Well, technical difficulties here. Oh, there he is again. He just looked the other way now. Okay, we got a solid Dunkin'. Hey, can you guys, what's it looking like? Hey, Jeff, text me. Tell me what you see. Racer or whatever. Go faster. Yeah, shoot me a text. While it's doing, let me give this sauce a stir here. Oh my God, this has got to be my best batch yet. Wow. No lie. This is a sweet basil tomato sauce. Hey Jeff, shoot me a text, man. We got some technical difficulties going on here. Yo. Well, everybody, you see me up there in the little top of the little screen there? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Now You're Cooking. We're going to get this figured out. I don't know what's going on with no filter here, but I'm supposed to be in the center of the screen, and you guys, you could probably zoom your screen and get me to the center. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But while Duncan's doing that, let me tell you what we got going on here tonight. I am making some braciole, a little bit of braciole and some meatballs, and I have to tell you, this is definitely my best sauce yet. Started out, this is a process. This is not something that you just do on one day and it's done. I started this on Tuesday evening with my sauce. And to get my sauce going, or we like to call it gravy, I probably went 50-50 with aromas and the, what did I use? The vine ripened tomatoes. I went 50-50 on that. I used, I think, 10 of each. Boiled up in this pot here, and hang on, something's going on. Yeah, we got nothing there. Double D. I see your little thing. Okay.
We're still in the small box, man. Still in the small box.
Yeah, we're still in the small box here.
Oh man.
Let's see if I can fix this. Hey, this show's gonna be a little bit longer tonight, you guys. Oh, that's you.
Go ahead and click your picture at the top. Double click it.
Okay.
Because I've got you center for me.
Okay. It says show all controls. Cast?
No.
Picture in picture? The picture in picture? What's that?
Whatever. I'm talking about the no filter settings. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm over down here. Picture in picture. Now I'm back up to the tab. Oh, minor difficulties here, you guys. We'll figure it out. Show all controls. I mean,
no, you're fine. I just let it be. Let's ask the chat. Everyone out there, who do you have in the center out there in the chat? Because the way I see it right now, I've got you in the dead center. It's just gonna be difficult, I think, for you to watch it from your end this evening. But we can work on that. We'll figure that. We'll figure that scenario
anybody
out.
In the chat there? Is Jeff still around?
Yes, I see Jeff in the chat.
Faster.
Jeff's out there.
Hey, go faster. Go faster.
Go
hey,
faster.
Do me a favor. Tell me, are we in the center screen or is Duncan in the center screen? Because I'm seeing Duncan. So,
you see me in the center.
You know, I don't know. I should just text him real quick. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow, man. You guys are just going to have to watch me small screen. I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. I'm catching a buzz, and I'm going to be eating some good food. So what are we doing? I got my sauce going. Okay, let me tell you how I got my sauce started. My
How'd you get
gravy.
going?
I got the tomatoes going, boiled them up. As soon as the skin started to peel a little bit, I drained them, put them in the fridge. Actually, I put them in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Just popped it out. There's go faster. It just popped in. Oh, both are in the center.
All right, there we go.
Oh,
Good.
so I guess it's a split screen. That's good.
All right, hold on. Let me see something.
Okay,
Ready?
good.
What about now? There, go faster. Is the chef in the center? Bump, bump, bump.
Yeah, go faster.
He's searching for his why.
All right, well, I'm going to keep talking here. Well, you guys
Okay,
figure
good.
that out. You can. Okay,
All right,
we'll
go
to
for
the
it.
center. All right, good. So anyway, so with the sauce, after I got the tomatoes taken care of, I put them in the freezer. Blanched them, put them in the freezer, took them out. Only put them in for like 10 minutes. I just mushed them up with my hands. Took the core out, got it in, and then I have a little emulsifier up here. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's a Thom. Got this at the San Diego County Fair years ago. But it's a little emulsifier, pretty good little tool. And I brought it down and just got it going on a probably like a low heat. But then I needed to thicken it up a little bit. This is where it starts getting good. I took a whole shallot and I diced it up. Okay, and hey, oh, that's you. Hey, Reese is here. What's up, brother? So I diced up the shallots and put a bunch of garlic in my 2-quart and melted some butter and some olive oil. And as soon as the aroma was just amazing. And I wish we had time to do it all tonight, but like I said, this is a process, so I just got to walk you through what I did. So after I got the shallots and the garlic, like shallots translucent, I put in my Merlot. Okay, reduced the Merlot down, and then I got some flour and I made a roux. And after I got that roux going, was nice and thickened it up, put it in my sauce, gave it a stir. Took some basil and some Parmesan cheese, threw it in there, stirred it up, and let it simmer. And then I started my Braciole. So we are doing Braciole and meatballs tonight. Now, when I do my Braciole, you can get flank steak. And what I did was I bought flank steak, I filleted it, and I tenderized it. And I got my prosciutto that we're going to put inside there. And then for my meatballs, I go with 2-to-1 ground beef and ground pork. Okay, 2 parts ground beef, 1 part ground pork. So we got our basil here. This is going to be for the filling for the braciole. We got some basil, some breadcrumbs, some Parmesan. Got the garlic. Mix up a little egg in there. Probably put some egg in the meatball, salt, and pepper. And I think sometimes I'll put a little bit of wine. We're going to put a little bit of wine in me right now. And we're going to get going on this braciole. Oh yeah, another thing you're going to need too. You're going to need some butcher's twine. Because you got to tie them babies off. I see people using toothpicks. Problem is, you could use toothpicks. A lot of times people use toothpicks. They put when they go to plate. After they cook the braciole, they'll plate it and they'll put the sauce over the top. Traditionally, the way I do my braciole, after I make my sauce, I put it in and I let it slow cook in the sauce overnight. And then I take it off the stove. I put it in the fridge. I go to work. I come home. I put it back on the stove. I let it simmer for a few more hours. Put it back in the fridge. Next day, heat it up. You're ready to eat it. It's a 3-day process. Okay, 2 to 3 day process. So if you're going to do it on Sunday for Sunday dinner, start it on Friday. It's the only way to go. And I'm sure, Duncan, you've been there, right?
Oh, I've been there. I've done that. And it's a labor of love, but when you really give it the time,
got the good wine, you're good to go. All right, so let's get started on the braciole. Let's move some of this crap out of my way here. I've already tenderized the meat, and let's see what we got. And I went pretty thin on this. I like to get it nice and thin, so when I roll together, we can get some nice filling in there. nice piece of meat there. Oh, another thing too with the meat,
Yes.
I don't season it when I tenderize it. I season it when I go to make it. So what I'm going to do is, oh, this is going to be a big one here. Let's turn this over because split here, and then baby over. Good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of salt, pepper on the inside here, and you can just do it to taste. Okay. I like a lot. Now the Parmesan, pretty salty. Okay, so I'm not going to put that much salt. But as it cooks, the salt on the meat there is going to, bring out the flavors. All right, so we got this going. Now here's the last thing I do. Put a little bit of olive oil. Turn this baby over. On the side that is not going to have the filling. Give it a nice little rub here. And rub my meat.
Now, is there a specific olive oil that you should use? We use a cold
I
press.
like using extra virgin.
An EV? Okay.
Extra virgin.
All right.
Yeah. When I rub my meat, I like to use the extra virgin. I've already beat the meat and I rubbed it. So we're good to go. It sounds good.
You've tenderized it down.
Hey, no filter, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to turn this baby over. So my sister-in-law's probably rolled over. She's laughing so hard. There we go. Let's get our filling going. So for the filling, hang on. I gotta get a prosciutto on there. Now you can dice up the prosciutto. I like to just lay it in there. Okay. And that's pretty salty. So that's why I don't like putting a lot of salt on, because the Parmesan cheese and the prosciutto has a lot of salt. I mean, when they make this prosciutto, it's cured of salt. A lot of salt. Now, I don't really measure things out. When I post the recipe, yeah, I'll give you guys some measurements, but I like to go a lot by taste and by like what I see. Okay, so I'm going to put that. I would say that's maybe like a quarter cup of some Parmesan. We'll go with probably about a half a cup of the breadcrumbs. Get a little olive oil in here. And a little bit for me. And a little bit for that. So let's mix this baby up and see what we got. There we go. Sometimes you might have to add a little more olive oil or some wine. I like to use some red wine. It just adds that little bit of extra flavor. And we're going to get some fresh garlic cloves in there now. Now, I'm a more garlic the better type of guy. Like if you've ever been around me on a hot day, like garlic is just oozing out of my pores.
I think there comes a point when you use garlic repetitively, and it's one of these little spices, herbs, whatever you want to categorize as that. You really start to bring out on your palate the different flavor profile of it. And you can really tell between the garlic that's sort of been rushed and it's very bitter,
Yep.
or the garlic that is able to sort of like mature in itself a little bit, and that stuff can be super sweet. And people don't like. I'm telling this to people, like, no. I'm like, oh my god. I said, if you've never had like a really sweet clove of garlic, then you're missing something.
Oh, check this a quick story. I don't know how quick it's going to be. You know my stories, but I mean, we're talking. I just got back from college, and this was when I was going to school in Cal State, Chico. I got back for the summer, and I went to work for my brother Timmy and his partner Mark, and we used to stop at this Italian deli all the time, and I would get. They had what was it? Get prosciutto. Fresh mozzarella roasted peppers, and then I would have him take roasted garlic and just slather it on both sides of the bread, right?
Yeah.
So coming home one day, we're driving up the hill to our house, and these guys are just complaining because I was reeking. I mean, I smelled like shit. It was horrible.
Mhm.
So all of a sudden, where we lived, there was this long ass hill that went up into our development. I mean, it was long. I'm not going to say steep, but it was long, and it was a bitch to walk up. So they kicked me out of the truck, and I'm walking up the hill. My dad comes up. Right, he's coming home from work. This is probably about 6:30. My dad pulls up, and he worked on Wall Street. So sometimes he had good days, sometimes he had bad days. Must have been one of his bad days. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I says, "I'm walking home." He goes, "Why are you walking home?" I said, "Because Mark and Timmy kicked me out of the truck." He said, "Get in the car." So I get in the car, and I swear he went from one house to another. He stops the car along the side of the curb and he says, "Get the hell out of my car, you stink." And I had to walk away on the way home.
Yeah. At least you were a little bit up the hill at that point.
Huh?
At least you were just a little bit further up the hill,
Yeah, I got a little bit further up the hill, but not much. Okay, so this is pretty good. Matter of fact, I might even use this for the meatballs. So we're gonna get some of this in here. And you could be liberal with it if you want. Just pat it on there, kind of get it firm in there,
Right.
So we're gonna get this on here. I was growing up, my dad used to come home from work. He would have Doers and soda. That was his drink, right? Doers and seltzer, I'm sorry. And I was in charge of making his drink. And I found this out later in life. I said, "Dad, when I was growing up, how did you always know when I was in trouble?" And he said to me, "Because you'd make me a double." I would make him a double.
Exactly.
All right. So can you all see this? What I'm doing?
Oh
here?
yeah, we got you.
How's that looking? Yeah, let's
Looking good. Looking good over there.
I think I got a preset here. There you go. How's that? Okay, so we got it nice and spread. We're gonna let this. There we go. Oh, another thing too with the meat, I like to let the meat to get to room temperature. It's a little easier to work with. So now we're gonna roll it up. Now this one is a big one, and of course the meat split. Let's tuck that in there, kind of like a big fat burrito. Catch that? And roll this one up. Now, when I do the butcher's twine, tight but not too tight. There we go. And I tell you what, when it is done, it tastes a hell of a lot better than it looks right now. All right, so let's zoom out here. There we go. Now let's get our butcher's twine. I've already pre-cut this. We made our little mousse here. We're gonna wrap this baby around here. Get this tight. And when you're tying it off, okay?
Right.
The roll was going this way. Whichever way the roll goes, this is the way you're going to tie it off. All right.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you something that I do to make it a little easier to tie off. Can y'all see that little loop I put in there?
I see the loop.
In here. Okay. You see that little loop there? Okay. You're going to pull this other piece around and get it through that loop. It just makes it a little easier to tie off. You don't even have to tie it. Okay, and that's it. Now this one here, we're just going to put that right in the pan over here. I got my little oven over there I don't think I've even used my regular oven yet.
Right.
Yeah, I think when I used it during the holidays when I was baking cookies and stuff.
Hmm.
But I bought that toaster oven on Amazon. One
Right.
of those air fryer, convection, all that shit, but it's the French door. And I love those. That thing's the freaking best. So let's tie off this next one, and then we'll do some meatballs. So I preheated that to, I think it's 400 degrees. There we go. Put this baby in here. Like a turd in a punch bowl. All right. I'm going to put those in after we do the meatballs. Okay, we're going to get the meatballs going first. Oh shit, you know what I forgot? I forgot the basil. But that's okay, because we got basil spaghetti sauce. I'll just put it in.
There we go, chef.
You know? See. What temperature? I got this at 400. Temperature may vary, everybody, depending on your oven. Now, this toaster oven, probably, I would say 400 is about a 375. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's get our meat go. We're going to combine the meat here. I got the pork and the beef.
Okay.
So we're just going to give this a mix here, get this going to start, and then we're going to get a little sloppy. When I put in, I like to, when I cook, and a lot of times, add an ingredient mix, add an ingredient mix, add an ingredient mix. You don't throw it all in at once. I mean, I did with the filling. Oh, we still have some left. But when I do my meatballs, add a little bit. I got to get the egg in there, though. And we're going to give it a mix with what we got going now. So we get the mix going, get sloppy, just keep pressing through your fingers, all right? Get this going now. I used one egg. I mean, it was less than a pound of meat there. I already got a whole batch of meatballs going from the other day. So we can show you the finished product. Go ahead.
Where do people mess up when they're making their meatballs? Is it the ratio? Is it frying them too hot from the get-go?
Because sometimes you can have really dry meatballs. Where they mess up is they don't let it sit in the sauce long enough. That's what I see. You go bite into a meatball and all of a sudden you start getting into it and it tastes like a hamburger with spaghetti sauce on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to make a nice little cavity right there. We're going to get our basil in there. Now I'm going to add the cheese and I'm going to add the garlic at the same time. All right. But I see, when people are making meatballs, they put the meatballs in the sauce. They come home from work, throw the meatballs in the sauce, serve up dinner, and they're done. No, meatballs got to sit in the sauce minimum of a day. Minimum. Can't be, I mean, when I do my meatballs, when I do my sausage, when I do my braciole, I mean, we're talking 2-3 days it's sitting in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it out, put it in the fridge, take it out, put it on the stove. It's kind of like a process to it. And I think the longer that it sits in that sauce, the flavors marry together perfectly. Now, I want to tell you, this sauce here, it's a sweet basil. Okay. Tons of garlic. I threw a little red pepper flake in there because I always like a little bit of a bite. But it is a sweet basil. I have basil in my meatballs. Forgot to put some in the braciole, but that's okay because the one that's going to come out of there in just a little bit. Already. Yeah, so let's get one more piece of garlic in there. And garlic presses are so awesome, aren't they?
They're fantastic.
Yeah, check this one out. I love this one. Because when you press it, got like this little handle here. See that?
Oh, nice. Scraper on the top. Yeah.
Yeah, a little scraper.
There you go.
Parmesan in here. Give this a baby a nice little mix. I want all this stuff to just mix up real good. Now, another thing too, sometimes I think people make the meatballs too big. I think they should be, yeah, I think they should be like the size of a golf ball. You know?
Okay.
What's the dimensions of a golf ball, Duncan?
It's probably like maybe like 3 inches round, something like that. 4 inches maybe.
From
side diameter.
Okay, all right, we are ready, man. All right, let's go over here, clean up this little bit of a mess. Sometimes I throw some prosciutto in there. I mean, you can make meatballs, you can throw in whatever the heck you want. The way I do them, is the way I like them. So we got the meatball. This here, I think this is about the size of a golf ball. Okay. And we're going to roll these babies out, put them alongside in here. And I'm going to run out of room, so I think and you could freeze the meat. You know, if you make a big batch of the meat, and make a whole big batch. Let's say you're pasta once every Sunday. I mean, especially like during Lent, you can freeze the meat. It'll hold for a few weeks in the fridge or in the freezer. So how are we looking so far? What's chat going on?
Looking good. Reese is out there rocking. Go faster.
What's up, rocking Reese?
Rocking Reese. You know.
Any of our boys from Arizona on there yet?
No, we're looking for Penguin. We're looking for play action. They may actually be going out to a game or watching it out tonight. Penguin was saying that he has fully invested himself in the Arizona Diamondbacks or the D-backs.
Really?
Season this year. He's more of a baseball fan than ever. He was moved and converted by the great commentary and coverage provided by Bleacher Brothers Spring Training Tour 2023. So
last night,
new baseball fan has been made.
I like the fact that you guys all chose San Diego.
Yeah.
I just think San Diego this year, they got it all. They got the pitching, they got the batting, they got the management finally. Because the management of years past, they would develop players, and they'd have a so-so year, and they'd sell the players. They get rid of them, trade them. It was just insane. Look at like Adrian Gonzalez, right? I mean, we're talking 2000.
Oh yeah. This is back a while. Yep. Yeah, this is back a while.
They developed him first base, and then where did he go to the Dodgers, and then he did a stint with Boston for a little bit. It was and a great player. Not too many injuries. What do you think of the new rule changes? You think those rule changes are going to affect much?
We've seen a lot of offense already today. A couple games we've got
right now,
11 runs, 7 runs, 10 runs, 9 runs, 10 runs, another 9, another 10-9 game. I mean,
seriously, I think the no shift is going to be a big deal. Okay, so here we go. I got my meatballs. I got my braciole. We're going to put these in the oven. Now, I see a lot of people fry these too. You can fry them up in some olive oil if you'd like. I prefer to put it in the oven, and I typically will go in for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And after about 20 minutes, I'll take them and I'll put them in the sauce. They're not cooked all the way through after 20 minutes. Where do they cook all the way through? Right there, baby. Right in the sauce. And they'll cook in the sauce, I would say, like I said, I put it in the sauce and I put it on simmer and I let it sit overnight in the pan. When I wake up, I take it off of the, shut the heat off so the pan can cool down. I put it in the fridge. I go to work. I come home from work, go right back up on the stove. And I let it cook until I'm ready to go to bed, take it out, and then the next day it is ready to rock and roll. So I already cooked up a batch before we got started here. What I have in here is some of the meatballs that have been cooking, and the Braciole for the last 2.5 days. We are going to do a little taste test.
Oh my!
I already know how it's going to be. I cooked it. I don't make stuff I don't like. And if I don't like it, I'm going to eat it anyway.
Nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste.
Not in this house. All right. Broken meatball here. Oh man, dude, this sauce came out good. Let's just keep down here. This meat, so tender.
Just falling off.
Go faster.
Yep.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What you say?
No, I'm enjoying you. Enjoying your meat.
If I come up this weekend and go faster, guess what we're having for dinner? that is definitely. I don't know if it was go faster or you that said it before. Like when I said this is my best all time, was it you? And you're like your best all time, or it must have been Jeff. I'm telling you, this sauce. Yeah. I really don't think I've made a better. Hang on, I got to digress a little bit. I really don't think I've ever made a better gravy than what I have right here. Now,
I'm glad you said that. Right. So here's. Yeah. Well, see, I don't see. This is where I'm torn with this because it's the old adage, right? You get the traditional Italians and they're like, it's gravy, it's gravy, it's gravy. You get other Italians like, it's sauce, it's sauce, it's sauce. The way that I was told and the way that I was taught was that when you start your sauce or your gravy, depending upon what you start with, that sets the tone for what it is. So if it starts with like you braise and sear the meat inside the pan and you kind of get the flavors going, and then you start adding the tomato, the paste. That's more of a gravy. Now you can just have straight marinara sauce, right?
Right.
I mean, that's just take the Thoms, take them all, put them in, and you're good to go.
I'm glad you said that because that actually kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. So now, like you have a marinara sauce that has meat that has been slow cooked and simmered in it. Right? Like you didn't start the bottom of the pan with, whatever was left inside the fridge, like the old country would do. And then you start adding tomatoes to that, and then it cooks all up together. You're taking this and putting it into the sauce. So for me, you have a marinara sauce or a tomato sauce with like meat that's been simmered.
This is a process. It's
a process. Yeah.
It is a total process. That's like you're from Philly, close to South Jersey. Everybody there calls pork roll. Once you get up into North Jersey, it's called Taylor ham.
Taylor ham. Oh, it just sounds wrong.
I know, but the whole history of that is the guy that invented Taylor ham. Okay, so that's what he was Taylor. So he called it Taylor ham, and there was. And I'm basically paraphrasing the story or whatever.
Sure.
But the powers that be said you can't name the meat after you. So he called it Taylor's pork roll. To me, it's still Taylor. Oh, Taylor ham. Okay, let's see how this baby is. Oh, look at this. I'm barely touching it. Barely touching it. Let's zoom in here. It's so tender. I mean, look at this. Just falling apart.
That's amazing.
And that's the way Braciole should be. Now, the filling? No. This filling is a little different than the one I did there. What I did with this filling, I took provolone, some Parmesan, provolone, Parmesan, the prosciutto, and I put it in a food processor, and then I threw in some of the basil,
All right.
some butter in a pan, put some wine in it, and then I mixed it all together. That way is the way I've always done it. What's in the oven? This I was trying something new, and it might be the new go-to. Oh, this meat is so tender. Now I use a flank steak on this. You can also use shoulder, anything that you can get that's cut thin slice. You just pound it out, but you want to get it to less than a 1/4 inch thick. Okay, and I can't see. Oh.
We're shouting out to the Penguin AZ. He wants us to recognize the Penguin AZ.
Hey, Penguin, what's happening, my brother? Hang on, I'm drinking wine, but you know what?
Hold on, wait a minute. What do you got?
I got special for my buddy Penguin.
He's got his
Miller
light.
It's not the big legs, but anyway, you can use flank steak. If you're going to use flank steak, you gotta fillet it. You gotta cut it, and you better be really good with a knife. The flank steak on one end is about this thick, and then it goes down to probably about a 1/2 inch. Make sure you got a really, really sharp knife. Let's dig into one of these meatballs. Take a look at this. Hey, Penguin, say maybe throw a little or what?
Yeah, no, the Penguin's saying that flank steak is almost carne asada. I think we need to do a little crossover with the chef and the Penguin. I think the Penguin could probably bang out some traditional dishes.
Penguin, you cook?
He's got to cook.
Does Penguin cook?
Oh, Mickey Delaney's calling him out, telling him to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. This is a first-generation American. He's got a heritage and a history.
Oh, yeah.
Cook. He's going to recognize real. I bet you he recognizes real.
You know what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow? Meatball parm sandwich.
Yeah, meatball parm sandwich.
Yeah, that's another thing I pissed off.
There you go. I think that's.
I have a meatball. But nothing irritates me more. Like a meatball parm, they just throw the meatballs on there. Now, when I grew up, my mom would make me a meatball sandwich. She'd mush up the meatballs, and put them on the roll of the bread or whatever. Kind of like, and same thing with meatloaf. And there's nothing worse than taking a bite of a meatball sandwich and you think you got that meatball, and what happens? It falls out of the freaking roll, out onto the plate, and all you get is a mouthful of bread and cheese. When I make my meatball sandwiches, I either cut them in half, lay them out on the bread, both sides, put the cheese in. I will pre-toast the bread a little bit.
Right.
And I'll put the meatballs on some parchment paper with some cheese or on a dish, put it in the oven. Never use a microwave. Do not use a microwave. Microwave changes the flavor of everything. Okay, you put it in a microwave, it's gross. I mean, come on. The microwave is not going to brown your meat. I mean, not going to brown your cheese either.
What? Okay, that's a great little segue question here. I know we're doing everything slow and low and simmer, labor of love, blah 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 blah. Microwave, honestly, right? What's it good for? What is it good for? You've been cooking for so long. What's it good for?
What's it good for? Good for fatty cookies.
Yeah.
Rolls.
Yeah.
Tortillas. Thomas's English muffins. And I think there's a bag of chips in there.
Yeah. You know what?
For heating up coffee. That's it.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe like taking the chill off of something. But aside from that, if you're cooking things in the microwave, every flavor profile is gone. Everything is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. People, it's weird. You're almost dehydrating your food in the microwave.
Yeah. Well, what microwaves do is they pretty much change the chemical composition of the food that's going in there. There's little to no nutrient. If you're going to cook vegetables in a microwave, for instance,
Correct.
cook it at the lowest possible temperature you can, but it's going to take forever to cook those vegetables.
Which is so weird, right?
Say again?
I was gonna say it's so weird because when microwave ovens first came out, right? They used to have a wave, quote unquote, or temperature sort of gauge. Like you could guide it how much you want to really actuate the microwave on. I mean, I remember my first one that we had. Gosh, I don't know if it was a popular brand back in like the early 80s, but I remember the little switch just below like the dial setting, and you actually had to move it and position.
Oh yeah, slider, like a slider, side to side,
side to side on the slider, you know. And like,
yeah,
and you knew
now,
it was like they're set. There's like 800, 1,000, 1,100, and that's it. Like that's all you get. You don't pass go, nothing else.
And I have seen some microwaves that are convection ovens as well. Good. I mean, that's kind of cool. Yeah. You know, because now it's like a dual purpose. But I will tell you, when you cook vegetables in the microwave, what happens with microwaves? So what do microwaves do to vegetables? Okay. Let's talk about vegetables. When you put vegetables in a microwave and you cook them up, they'll come out and they'll taste pretty good. Okay. The flavor's there, the color's still there, but the nutrients are there too. Okay. But what happens with the microwave is they cook at extremely high temperatures, and they destroy the enzymes in the vegetables that actually help you to digest the food.
Exactly.
Right? So when you eat a vegetable out of a microwave, those nutrients just pass right through you.
Right. Unless
you're taking like an enzyme supplement or something. You know, my whole attitude is, if it's going to take, let's say, 4 minutes to cook vegetables in a microwave, what the heck is the big difference if it takes 4 more minutes to do it on top of the stove on a low temperature? Yeah. Because when you cook vegetables on a low temperature and you keep it below 190 degrees, you're retaining the vitamins and the minerals. See, the vitamins and minerals is what creates the color, what creates the color, the flavor, and the taste, you know? And once you take all that away, you cook it in a microwave, you're losing a lot of that. And I just think microwaves are just better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that and we talked about this briefly when we were together there for a moment. People a lot of times, and we see these programs, and you're giving great recipes for people to come up with, to really expand upon, get to twist with it. But when you, number one, give your food time to cook, you will have a completely different meal than what you're used to. People, I know, and so it's all about the speed nowadays, right? Let's go to the Hello Fresh meals, the delivery meals, the zone things, whatever that is. But slowing down and letting this food cook, and that's the trick, right? Like, you could put this pot of gravy on, this pot of sauce on, you could put your meatballs in, set it, and honestly, those changes in, right? Like, you can set it and forget it and walk away. Like, it's just going to cook on a low heat. But go about your day, do whatever it is that you're doing. When you come time to eat it, it's going to be moist. There's going to be juice. The enzymes are going to be present. It's a process, right? But like, you don't need to stand over your food while you're doing it. And we've put ourselves in a position nowadays. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, just let it cook. Let it cook.
And what's great about it is, like, when I cook, when I was growing up, it was weird. My mom, God bless her, she cooked for 8 of us, and that's including her.
Wow.
a lot of, yeah. And my dad always used to tell me my eyes were bigger than my stomach. Whatever went on my plate, I had to eat.
That's right.
Oh shit, man! I was fighting with 4 other gabons, you know. Yeah. My older brothers, my sister. But the thing is, as everybody started moving out of the house, and just me, my brother Timmy, you know, my parents are traveling a lot, so they're like, oh, stay home, don't move out. We need somebody to take care of the house. Like, oh yeah. I mean, oh my God, the parties we used to have. We had a finished basement. Oh, it was great. But anyway, when my mother would cook, she only knew how to cook for 8 people. I don't know if you saw that piece of meatball that shoot out of my mouth, but and so there was always leftovers in my house. And when I cook, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, what I do last week, the chili relleno casserole, right?
Oh, nice. Yes.
Dude, it was so good. I brought it up to my brother Jeff. Jeff, if you're still watching, what do you think? Were those freaking good? Go faster or what?
He's out there. Go faster's out there, man.
I finished the little bit that I made, right? And I left them one. And when I got home, I was like, God damn, that was freaking good. I'm gonna make another one. Still got it sitting in the fridge. I was gonna eat that tonight, but obviously I'm not. I got a whole bunch of meatballs. I got these. I mean, so in the next few days, I'm gonna be eating Mexican food and Italian food. And like I bought all this fruit, and I was like, oh shit. When I was at the grocery store, oh, that's another thing. Prices at the grocery store. Eggs, $7 for a dozen of freaking eggs.
$7. Good Lord.
That's disgusting. $7.
Last time I checked, they still like make an egg the same way. Yeah, the chicken's going on strike. They need like better living conditions.
I don't know, man. They must be on strike or they're just not producing. I mean, I saw this thing on the news not too long ago. There's like even the farmers are saying that their chickens aren't producing as much, and they think it's because of the feed that they're giving them. And I'm sure they're probably not free range chickens. So you know what? Let them freaking chickens out in the field. And, let them freaking start picking off of the grass and eating the freaking worms that are popping up. Throw some water on the grass. I mean, come on, give me a break. Chicken through the roof. Beef, freaking beef. I couldn't believe the prices of beef. I mean, I bought Christmas time. I made a prime rib. I got in the grocery store, and yes, it was on sale. It was the freaking best. Probably one of the best prime ribs I've ever done. When I took the bone off and I put it in the fridge, and I made ribs with the bones because I left a ton of meat on it. But dude, I was there the other day and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do prime rib for my show. And guess what? For next week, put it in the fridge, like start marinating and shit.
Yeah.
$107 for a freaking 3.5 pound prime rib. I mean, dude, this thing was like no bigger than this.
Yeah.
No bigger than that. And it was over $100. I mean, the lady looked at me. She goes, "Well, maybe you should become a vegetarian." And I was like, I'm saying in my head, maybe you should just shut the fuck up. I would never give up the meat, man. So, but this has been real good. I'm enjoying this. You know what I do miss though, with being down here in Florida.
What's that?
A bit of Italian bread. Can't get good Italian bread down here unless I make it myself.
The water.
It is. It is totally. It's the water. People don't realize that. And there's some places that try to replicate the water down here, and it's all smoke and mirrors, dog and pony show. We need some New York next. I'll tell you, when I come up to, I got to go up to my brother's daughter's wedding sometime in May. I think because I'm driving. I think I'm going to bring back some water just to see the difference and make 2 different batches of bread, like some semolina bread or something, or some good Italian, rustic Italian bread, just to see what the difference is. Okay, this is done. And this is perfect. Oh, man. Shit, just burned myself. All right, I hear you. Shut up.
We hear you. We hear you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is perfect. So the way I gauge this is garlic. Oh my God, just the aroma is phenomenal.
Oh,
so when I put the meatballs in the oven, at the same time as I put in the Braciole. Okay.
Okay.
And you can pretty much see. Let me zoom in here. I love my new toy. This thing is the best. Okay. Kind of looks like a turd. Looks like Mr. Hanky a little bit, doesn't it? Hello.
There you go, Mr. Hanky.
And
And you're the chef, right?
that's it. Yeah, I'm the chef.
Making your big salty balls. Salty balls.
Oh, yeah. Who was the original chef? Come on. He was a famous R&B singer, I think.
Yeah, it was Barry White, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Barry White.
Luther?
Google it. No.
I'm gonna Google for it. Salty balls.
Somebody just said I can't see.
Voice. Oh yeah. The guy from what's it? Guy from Shaft, Isaac Hayes.
That's it. Was it? Yeah, Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes, man.
Okay, so what I was saying with the Braciole, that's my gauge for the meatballs. Okay, I put it in the oven. When the Braciole starts browning over,
right?
That's when my meatballs are done, because you don't want it like that's a little browned on the bottom because it was on the pan. But the batch that I made last night, because I was sitting on the patio smoking a cigarette, hanging out with this little hog, I forgot about it, and it kind of got a little too much. So this is going right in the sauce. Oh my God. Now these meatballs,
yeah,
I can't wait to dig into these.
It's gonna just melt in your mouth.
They look really good. Sauce perfect, meatballs perfect, Braciole good. I mean, we are on fire here. Hey, when's opening day? I should know this because we just did the spring training tour.
Today was opening day.
Today?
Every team playing today.
Who played today?
Everybody plays.
No way. I thought it's always April 1st. What the hell am I doing?
Nope.
Hey, for those of you watching, catch if you go to bleacherbrothers.com, you can see how many shows did we do for the spring training?
Tons of shows. Well, we did three main shows. Yes.
Yeah. But we went to I think we went to almost every spring training ballpark in Florida, with the exception, I think, of the Boston Red Sox and one other team.
Yes.
I can't remember.
We didn't go to Tampa.
Listen, my job when we go to these things was eat and drink. Beers were cold, except for the fact that, like, I think I didn't see a beer that was under $12. And food, hey, if anybody saw the show, you know that I was chowing down. And the first show, or game that we went to, was, I think it was in Jupiter. I think it was the Jupiter one. And
yes,
and
so.
Who was it? Who's the Miami team?
The Marlins.
If Nick the Flick is watching, he's going to be pissed. I know.
Like who? Who are they?
Yeah. The Marlins.
Marlins? Who?
We went. That was the first stadium we went to in Jupiter. That was a pretty cool stadium. And AJ says to me, he's like, dude, don't eat the whole thing. I'm like, what do you mean? Because you're going to be eating all freaking night. You're sampling everything that we have in this stadium. And I was like, oh shit.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Yeah, I definitely got a slow roll. But did I have it right though when we were in whatever stadium it was when we were on the West Coast?
You had it.
When I would just buy like 3 at a time, take a bite here, take a bite there. I think the crab cakes were pretty good when we did the Orioles stadium. Yeah, that was pretty good. I've eaten sausage and peppers at every freaking stadium, and it was from good to disappointing. There was nothing that really stood out when it came to sausage and pepper. And then one of the other things, I can't remember what stadium it was at, but they had this. I don't know if it's a Cuban dish or a Puerto Rican, but it was like a cornbread pancake, like a masa pancake, right? Like two, and then it had mozzarella cheese in the center and
Mm-hmm.
pulled pork.
Yeah,
That was
that was
freaking
good.
unbelievable. I would definitely buy that again. Something else we had that was pretty unique at that it was like a deli. Do you remember? They put it was
Oh,
like
yeah,
on
the
a
Borset
panini.
Deli in Baltimore. Yeah. Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no. That was Moschella's over there for
and
Indocino. Yeah, Moschella's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know wherever the hell they were from, but that panini was actually pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
are they really serving that up in the stadiums? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, some of the food. Listen, maybe I'm biased, but Padres, Petco Park,
Yes.
I would say at all the stadiums that I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of stadiums because I've traveled this. I've been in all 50 states of this country. I'm not going to say I've been to a lot of stadiums during the games, but you're standing outside the gates and you're looking inside the gates because you're checking out the stadium. You could see what they have for food, in the concessions. Obviously, they're not open because we'd always check out the stadiums. It's like sometimes during the winter whenever we're passing through. But Petco,
Mm-hmm.
they probably had the most diverse menu of food. I mean, they had Phil's Barbecue. Now, if anybody watching is from San Diego and the San Diego area, Phil's Barbecue is a staple. Phil's Barbecue is the best. They have, thought there was a famous baseball player I think he was from like early on, like beginning of Padres. I can't remember his name. He used to have this barbecue joint in Poway, the place I first moved to. Oh my God, what the hell is his name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. They have a barbecue joint in there. They have Thai food. They have sushi. I mean, they have everything you can imagine. And the bathrooms,
Right.
cleaner than my freaking bathroom here at this house. And I keep
You
my
talking
bathroom
about
clean.
Randy Jones?
Randy Jones, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He had this barbecue joint down the street from our house. I mean, you want to talk about a shithole?
Yeah.
Like you walk in, sit down in the booth, and like the springs are poking you in the ass. But they knew how to smoke the meats there. I mean, that place was the best. And I just wish, they never closed it down, but the place was falling apart. Of course, they had to close it down. I think what time is it right now? Oh, shit. We went a whole hour today. Wow.
You did. You're really good.
I think it's about time to close this down. Hey, listen, everybody. You got to follow us, BleacherBrothersNetwork.com. We are on No Filter. We got a ton of shows on No Filter. Duncan, what's your shows?
Off tomorrow, but be back on Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. Well, maybe Monday and Wednesday. Maybe just Monday.
Nightcap tomorrow?
No, I'm off
No
tomorrow
nightcap?
night. No nightcap for me.
Wow.
If the guys are gonna do it, they'll jump on.
Okay, I'll jump on. Hey, listen, everybody, the nightcap, great show. That is like to see who can what's come on 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it comes on 9:15 after Tony Bruno's show. You want to be entertained, you watch Tony Bruno's show and you watch the nightcap. Nightcap is
Last call.
Blast. Oh yeah, last call now. That's what it's called, last call. I mean, it's pretty much last man standing. Joe Grill's show. What's his the Philly guy?
Philly Guy
What's
Speaks.
Joe's show?
Yeah, Philly Guy Speaks.
Philly Guy Speaks. Another great show. Luker's going to be starting his hockey show, and he better start it soon because the season is almost over. Not Luker, the Luch. Steven Luker, another great show. They do retro TV commercials. Unbelievable. You got to watch that show. It's with Play Action. Of course, Bleacher Brothers show on Wednesday nights. That is at 8:00. That was a great show. The last one. And you can get all these shows on No Filter, even if they're past. I mean, you can watch my shitty shows from the last 3 weeks and see what I've been cooking. I mean, hey, listen, it's a lot of fun. We party, we have a good time, and that's what it's all about. Building up the name and just having a lot of fun. So I'm going to thank you all for watching our show tonight. Hey, Duncan, thanks for helping me out. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, in the beginning of the show, but hey, it is what it is. We finally figured it out. We'll be a little bit more solid as time goes on. And hey, now you're cooking, man. Just keep it up, have fun, and eat a lot of good food. And hey, Angler, I'm going to be kicking down a few of these now that the show's over because I got to clean up this mess.
Take care,
Adios, everybody. Yep. Sign us off, brother.
Have a good night.